Hey, my dear friends. I want to ask you something very simple, but very important. Have you ever felt like your brain just freezes when you try to speak in English? Like you know the words, but when it's time to talk, nothing comes out? You smile, you nod, but deep inside you're frustrated because you want to speak, but you just can't. I understand that feeling completely because I've been there. And today, I want to share something powerful with you. Something that changed the way I speak English forever. Yes, today I'm sharing these words unlocked my speaking power. The exact words and phrases that made me confident, fluent, and expressive when I speak. I'm not talking about big grammar lessons or difficult vocabulary. I'm talking about simple, powerful words that helped me unlock fluency. Real fluency. By the end of this video, you'll know how you can also use these words in your daily speaking practice. And more importantly, how they can train your brain to think in English, not just translate. So grab a notebook, sit back, and let me talk to you. Like a friend. Let's begin. Part 1. My English Struggle. Let me be honest with you. When I started learning English, I could read and understand most things. I watched movies. I read books. I even scored well in my exams. But when it was time to speak, I froze. I remember one day in college, a tourist asked me for directions. I knew the answer in my native language, but my brain was like, wait, how do I say this in English? I was translating in my head, looking for perfect grammar, and by the time I spoke, he had already walked away. That was the moment I realized learning grammar is not enough. Reading books is not enough. Watching movies is not enough. Speaking is different. Speaking is a skill. And like every skill, it needs the right tools. And for me, those tools were words. But not just any words. The right words. Words that are natural, practical, and used every day by native speakers. I began to call them speaking power words. And that's what I want to give you today. Part 2. The first set of words that changed everything. Connection words. The first breakthrough I had in speaking came from a small group of words that native speakers use constantly in real conversations. I call them connection words because they help you connect ideas, continue speaking, and avoid silence. Here are some of the most powerful ones. Actually, basically, I mean, like so well now. These may look very basic, but let me tell you, when I started using them in conversation, my speaking changed completely. Let me show you how. Instead of saying, I'm not going, I started saying, well, actually, I'm not going. I mean, I was thinking about it, but I changed my mind. Can you feel the difference? It's not just about what you say. It's about how naturally you say it. Let's break it down. Well is a soft start. It gives you time to think. Actually corrects or adds contrast. I mean, gives clarification. Like softens your opinion. Adds connection. These are small words, but they keep your speech flowing. No more awkward silence. No more stopping mid-sentence. You just keep going, like a native. Part 3. Power phrases that buy you time to think. One of the biggest problems learners face is panic. That moment when you don't know what to say and your mind goes blank. That's when I started using buying time phrases. These are phrases that give you a few seconds to think, naturally, without pressure. Here are some examples. That's a good question. Let me think for a second. Well, it depends. I haven't thought about that before. To be honest, I guess you could say. Now imagine someone asks you, what do you think about climate change? Instead of panicking, you can say, that's a good question. Let me think. I guess you could say I'm concerned, especially about the future. Smooth, right? These phrases helped me relax during conversations. They gave me space to think in English, not translate from my language. And over time, my brain got faster, my speaking became smoother, and my confidence grew stronger. Part 4. Emotional Power Words. Add life to your English. Here's the thing. Language is not just about words, it's about emotion. When I started using emotional expressions, my English didn't just improve, it became alive. Here are some powerful emotional phrases that helped me. That's amazing! Oh no, that's terrible! I can't believe it! Seriously? That's so funny! I'm not sure how I feel about that. To be honest, it made me really upset. Instead of saying, I watched a movie, it was good, I now say, I watched this movie last night, and honestly, it was amazing. The story gave me chills. I can't stop thinking about it. See the difference? Adding emotion makes your English more natural, more human. You don't just speak, you connect. That's what native speakers do. And now, so can you. Part 5. My Daily Life. Vocabulary. That unlocked confidence. I realized that 80% of my speaking happens around daily life. So I created a small, powerful vocabulary list that I used every single day. Here are some examples. Get up, brush my teeth, take a shower, grab breakfast, make coffee, head to work, catch the bus, check emails, talk to coworkers, cook dinner, do the dishes, go to bed. I made small sentences using them every single day, like, I got up late today, skipped breakfast, and rushed to work. Total chaos. Or, after work, I usually cook something quick and watch Netflix. That's my way to relax. This kind of daily English made me fluent fast because I was using the same words again and again, but in different ways. That's the secret. Use fewer words more often. Don't try to learn 1,000 new words. Master 100 useful ones. Part 6. The magic of I think, I feel, I guess. I noticed native speakers often use simple starters to express their thoughts. These are I think, I feel like, I guess. These phrases helped me speak freely, without worrying about being perfect. Here's how I use them. I think this movie was a bit slow. I feel like she's not really interested. I guess we could try a different restaurant. You don't need to be 100% sure. You're just sharing your opinion. This gave me permission to speak, even if I made small mistakes. And that's how real fluency begins. Part 7. Speaking loops. My favorite practice technique. Let me teach you a technique that changed my life. Speaking loops. Here's how it works. Choose 5 to 6 daily words. Example: wake up, coffee, work, tired, relax. Make a loop, a small story using all words. Repeat it 10 times with small changes. Example loop: I woke up late today, didn't have coffee, and felt tired all day at work. After work, I just wanted to relax. Now change it. Yesterday, I woke up early, had strong coffee, and felt amazing. Work was easy, and I relaxed by watching a show. You see the pattern? This technique trains your thinking plus speaking together, and it builds automatic fluency. Part 8. Speaking alone. My best friend in English learning, people always ask me, who did you practice English with? And I say, myself. Yes, I practiced speaking alone every single day. Here's how. I looked in the mirror and described my day. I picked random objects and talked about them. I recorded my voice and listened to improve. I pretended I was explaining things to a friend. Why? Because speaking is a muscle, and like going to the gym, you have to use it to grow it. Even 10 minutes a day of solo speaking made a huge difference, and I always used my power words, the same words I'm giving you now. Part 9. These words changed my life. Now it's your turn, my friends. I want to say this from the bottom of my heart. These simple, powerful words unlocked my speaking power. Not big words, not complicated grammar, just natural, human, everyday expressions. And today, I gave them to you. You don't need to be perfect to speak English. You just need to start with the right tools. Use these words, make them yours. Practice them daily, and watch your confidence explode. Part 10. Real-life situations where I used these words. I want to tell you how these words helped me in real conversations. Because it's one thing to learn words. It's another thing to use them when you're nervous, shy, or under pressure. Let's start with a job interview. I remember going for my first English language job interview. I was nervous, my palms were sweating, and my voice was shaking. But I reminded myself of those power words. So when the interviewer asked, "Tell me about yourself," I said, "Well, I'm someone who really enjoys learning new things. Actually, I started learning English by myself. And honestly, I never thought I'd be confident enough to speak like this. But here I am. Notice what I did? Well, helped me start without fear. Actually, showed honesty. Honestly, brought emotion. These small things made the conversation natural, not perfect, but real. Now imagine a friendly conversation with someone you meet at a coffee shop. "Hey, how's your day going?" You don't need to say something fancy. Just say, "Oh, pretty good. Actually, I was super tired in the morning, but after coffee I felt better." You know how it is. Simple, human, easy. That's the power of these words. They give you a bridge between your thoughts and your voice. Part 11. Train your brain to think in English. A huge turning point for me was when I stopped translating and started thinking in English. And the only way to do that is to use the same set of phrases and expressions again and again until they become natural. Here's what I did every morning. I woke up and said to myself, "Okay, what's the plan for today?" I would answer in English. "I think I'll make some tea, check my emails, and maybe go for a walk later." During the day, I would talk to myself quietly. This place is really crowded. Maybe I should come back later. I even practiced arguments or debates in my head. To be honest, I don't really agree with that. I feel like there's more to the story. This kind of daily mental practice changed everything. It made English my default language of thought, and when you think in English, you speak in English more easily. Part 12. Using the words in emotional situations. You know what's funny? We usually struggle with English in emotional moments, when we're angry, excited, or nervous. That's why I made a list of emotional power phrases for different moods. When you're excited, "That's awesome! I'm so happy right now. This is exactly what I needed." When you're disappointed, "That's really frustrating. I was hoping for something better. Honestly, I feel a little let down." When you're confused, "Wait, I'm not sure I understand. Could you explain that again?" "Sorry, I didn't catch that." When you're nervous, "I'm feeling a bit anxious right now. It's my first time doing this, so I'm a little nervous. But I'll give it a try." These phrases helped me express real feelings in real moments. And suddenly, English became a part of me, not just a subject I was learning. Part 13. Daily speaking rituals that changed my life. Let me give you some practical daily rituals that helped me build fluency using these speaking power words. Ritual 1. The morning talk, Every morning, I looked in the mirror and said, "Hey, how are you feeling today?" Then I answered, "Well, to be honest, I'm feeling a bit sleepy, but actually, I have a lot to do. So let's get going." Just 2 minutes, but it trained my brain to start the day in English. Ritual 2, the object talk. I picked random things around me, like a chair, a fan, a shoe, and described them. This is my chair. It's pretty old, but super comfortable. I guess I've been using it for 5 years now. This simple practice made English part of my everyday life. Ritual 3, the diary talk. At night, before sleeping, I would talk about my day, out loud. So, today was interesting. I actually met a new colleague. She seems super friendly. I guess we'll work together next week. That's it. Just 2 to 3 minutes of natural English. And you know what? It worked like magic. Part 14. Kill the fear of mistakes with these mindset words. Fear is a big enemy of fluency. But then I discovered a new group of words. Permission words. Words that gave me the freedom to make mistakes without shame. Here they are. I'm still learning. I hope you understand. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know how to say this perfectly, but these phrases helped me in moments of fear. Instead of hiding or staying silent, I just said, "Sorry, I'm still learning English, but here's what I want to say." That one sentence opened doors. People respected my honesty. They listened patiently. And over time, I needed to say it less and less because I got better. Remember, you don't need to be perfect. You need to be honest, brave, and real. Part 15. My speaking power word list for you to save. Let me now give you a master list of the words and phrases I used every day to unlock my speaking power. Connection. Words. Well, actually, basically, I mean, like so, buying time. Phrases. That's a good question. Let me think. I guess. It depends. I'm not sure, but to be honest, emotional phrases. That's amazing. I can't believe it. Seriously? Oh no, that's terrible. I feel like. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Daily vocabulary. Wake up, brush teeth, go to work, eat lunch, take a break, come home, cook dinner, relax mindset. Words. I'm still learning. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I'll try my best. I'm a little nervous. I hope you understand. Print this out, memorize it, use it daily, and watch what happens. Part 16. Final message from my heart to yours. My dear friend, I want to end this video by telling you something personal. For years, I thought I would never speak English fluently. I thought it was only for smart people or for those who grew up in English-speaking countries. But I was wrong. All I needed was the right mindset, the right words, and the courage to speak every day, even if I made mistakes. These words, simple as they are, changed everything. They unlocked my voice. They unlocked my thoughts. They unlocked my confidence. And now, they can do the same for you. So don't wait for perfection. Start now. Start small. Speak like a human. Make mistakes with pride. Learn with joy. Your English speaking power is already inside you. These words are just the key. Part 17. How I used power words to join group conversations. One of the scariest things for me wasn't speaking one-on-one. It was joining a group conversation in English. People would talk fast, joke, interrupt each other, and I would just sit there quietly, nodding, pretending I understood everything. But here's what changed it for me. I used just one or two power phrases to jump in. Let me show you how. Imagine 4 people are talking about movies. They're laughing, sharing opinions. You want to say something, but you feel shy. Instead of jumping in with a long sentence, just say, "Actually, I saw that movie too. It was awesome." Or, you know what? I totally agree with that. Or even, wait, seriously? I didn't know that. Just 3 to 5 words. But they make you part of the conversation. After that, people look at you. They listen. They involve you. And suddenly, you're in the group. I started doing this with confidence, and slowly I became known as someone who was easy to talk to in English. Part 18. The mind trick I used to speak naturally. I want to share something that sounds simple, but is really powerful. I stopped saying I'm learning English, and I started saying I speak English, even when I was not fluent, even when I made mistakes. Why? Because your brain listens to your words. If you say I'm bad at English, your brain believes it. But if you say I speak English and I'm getting better every day, your brain starts building confidence. Words aren't just tools for communication, they're tools for self-belief. From that day, I stopped saying, my English is not good. And I started saying, I'm improving my English, and I'm proud of my progress. That small shift changed my energy. It made me speak more, smile more, try more. And that's what I want for you, too. Part 19. Real English versus textbook English. Know the difference. Let's be honest. In school, we learn things like, I am going to the market. She is reading a book. But in real life, people say, I'm heading to the store. She's just reading. Or even, she's into this new novel. This is what I call real English. And that's the kind of English these power words are built for. Here are some everyday replacements that help me. Textbook English, real spoken English. I do not know, I don't know. I'm not sure. Let us go? Let's go, I cannot understand. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. What is your opinion? What do you think? I'm very happy. I'm so happy. That's awesome. Once I started using real English phrases, I felt more alive in conversations. People responded more warmly. They felt more connected to me. That's the power of switching from textbook to human English. Part 20. Practice games with power words, solo or with friends. Let's now make it fun. Here are 3 speaking games I used to build fluency with these power words. You can do them alone or with a partner. Game 1. Power word challenge. Pick any 5 words from the list. Like actually, well, to be honest, guess, awesome. Set a timer for 2 minutes. Talk about your day or any topic and use all 5 words naturally. Example. Well, today was super busy. Actually, I didn't even get time for lunch. To be honest, I feel a little tired now. I guess I'll just order something. But yeah, the meeting was awesome. Game 2. Emotion express. Pick an emotion. Happy, angry, sad, surprised. Use 3 to 4 emotional phrases from the script to express that feeling. Example. Angry. Honestly, I'm so frustrated right now. I can't believe they canceled the plan last minute. Seriously, that's not cool. I feel really let down. Game 3. The loop switch. Say the same sentence 3 times using different power words each time. Example. I went to the market. It was crowded. Well, I went to the market, and actually, it was super crowded. So yeah, I went to the market, and to be honest, I didn't expect that much crowd. This trains your flexibility and keeps your speaking fresh. Part 21. How to handle fast speakers in real conversations. One problem I had early on was that native speakers talk fast. They shorten everything. They connect words. I used to panic and miss what they were saying, but then I learned how to slow it down in my head. Here's how. I listened for power words like, actually, you know. To be honest, these are like pauses in the conversation. I didn't try to understand every single word, just the main idea. I replied with simple phrases I had practiced, like, I see what you mean. That makes sense. Could you say that again, slowly? These phrases gave me control. I didn't have to be perfect. I just had to stay in the conversation. Now, when I talk to native speakers, I use power words to make it feel easy. Well, to be honest, I didn't catch that. Could you repeat it real quick? Friendly, polite, confident, and people respect that. Part 22. Speak like a native, not like a robot. When I listened to how native speakers talk, I noticed something. They use pauses, fillers, expressions, and feelings. They don't always use perfect grammar. So I gave myself permission to speak naturally, not perfectly. Let me show you the difference. Robot English. Yesterday, I went to the park. It was good. Natural English. So yeah, I went to the park yesterday. And honestly, it was great. The weather was awesome, and I got to relax a bit. The second version flows. It feels real. And that's what you should aim for. Forget perfection. Focus on connection. Part 23. The English speaking identity. At one point, I started asking myself, who am I when I speak English? This question changed my life. I stopped seeing myself as a student or a learner. I started seeing myself as a communicator, someone who has ideas, opinions, and stories to share. That's your new identity, too. You're not just learning English. You're becoming a speaker of English. So walk like one. Talk like one. Own your voice. Own your power. Let the world hear what's inside you. Closing message. We've come so far in this journey. We've talked about power words, emotions, connection, real-life examples, mindset, practice, confidence, and identity. But here's what I want you to remember. You don't need 10,000 words to be fluent. You need a few powerful words that you use every day. That's how I did it. That's how you can do it too. So don't wait. Start speaking today. Use these words again and again. Make mistakes proudly. Speak from your heart. Your voice is strong. Your English is improving. And your future is bright. Thank you for staying with me till the end. If this video gave you value, please write in the comments. These words unlocked my power too. And remember, this is just the beginning. Let's grow together. Let's speak with confidence. And let's keep rising, one word at a time. See you soon, my friend.